Vince Bruzio here from Previews World. We are hanging out at the Dark Horse booth here at the New York Comic-Con. Alex Campi and Chriscross are going to talk about Bankshot. Alex is dressed up like Peter Fonda because that just seemed to be the right thing to do at the time, right?
Well, I lost a bet, and so I had to cosplay as a superhero at New York Comic-Con today. And so they didn't specify what superhero, which was their mistake. So I'm coming as Peter Fonda's character in Easy Rider, the wrong Captain America.
He's a superhero anyway. Don't listen to her.
First question is, we're going to do this, we're going to share it back and forth. My question is, most people out there, and I know this as well, you wear many hats, many hats. So I'd like to know why Bankshot was one of the hats you chose to wear. What was it about this property that really stoked the passion and made you commit to it as a full-time project?
Well, Bankshot came about because I had just come off two very realistic, heavily researched books, well, three actually, including Bad Girls. No Mercy, which was total realism, kids lost in Central America after a disaster, American kids in the United States. And Mayday, which was a really thoroughly researched Cold War spy thriller. And I felt like I spent half my time like Googling and reading autobiographies and doing research, and after that I just wanted to make some things explode. So we developed this book that was we created a whole new character who's essentially like a self-employed secret agent.
Right.
His name is Marcus King, not his real name. We never say what his real name is, and he's a former Marine, long-range recon Marine who had a disaster in North Africa, and then reappears 10 years later as a billionaire. And it's
that's what caught me. I said, I gotta do this now. Now I gotta do this because usually when people do black characters, they don't put them in a prestige spot. When they do it, it's kind of a fake. It's kind of something that's kind of wing in there. It's not something that means anything. But when she said black billionaire, soldier spy, I was like, I'm in. I want to blow stuff up. Gotcha. I'm ready to go. And that's all I had. And then I was in the middle of another project, and I actually had to get rid of that so I could just jump on this quick. I really just wanted to do that particular project.
What was maybe some source material you might have looked to as for references when you're thinking in terms of how you're going to plot your action sequences? I mean, we've all seen movies like Dirty Harry, right? Shaft. I mean, were any of those films in particular, since it sounds like we're going for that, whole crime angle, were there any particular references that you used in terms of maybe actually plotting the action sequences?
The Army stuff, I plotted after watching Restrepo, the documentary about a post in I think it's Afghanistan. So it was actually watching documentary footage of American soldiers in action in Afghanistan and some of the things they faced. And I often find that, like, rather than referencing existing films or something like that, real life is much more interesting than fiction. It always is. And if you dig far enough, and that's why I keep going back and doing historical things, historical stories as well, is like what really happened. Like, people don't talk about that nearly as much, and it's never like it's always more interesting and more emotionally affecting than the Hollywood version. Even when the Hollywood version is someone like Catherine Bigelow, who's very sensitive to getting that kind of emotion right.
Well, my thing was usually when she presents me with a certain situation and she gives me a lot of reference, I have to try to figure out how to make that stuff work. So then that means I'm either going into looking at movies or action fight flicks or something like that. Usually a lot of I would say martial arts films, something that mixed martial arts stuff where they kind of slide stuff and jumping all over the place and trying to direct which characters come from what place. You have to have this visual in your head with this particular situation, the whole area that you have to tip like 360 degrees in your head and try to make that work within the confined space. And if it's more than 4 or 5 characters, you're doing this. And if it's more like around 10 plus cars, you're kind of like, oh my God.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's like, okay, how am I gonna make this work?
All night.
So basically, my wife will come in and see me drawing, just kind of standing in space like this. She's like, "Are you okay?"
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking. My brain is kind of, It ain't what it used to be. I'm
Staring into space is a really important part of the creative process. Let me
exactly.
tell you that.
Other than going into fetal position and crying really, really hard. But this got to come out tomorrow.
Well, it sounds like the sparks really fly in this book, folks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's coming out in October. It's actually in the October previews right now. That's what
Right.
we're trying to. People, it's called Bankshot TP. It's from Dark Horse Comics. It's in the October previews catalog. So make sure you pre-order it, and you'll be able to find it in any local comic shop. As you're hearing right now from Alex and Campi Chriscross, it's the knife in the guts. It turns it. It's brutal. You're gonna love it. All right. So make sure you check out Bankshot from Dark Horse Comics. And as always, keep reading comics. Keep the faith, and make sure you buy Bankshot!
Hey Previews World, did you enjoy this video? Then let's be friends. Follow Previews World by clicking that subscribe button.